or even ever who's going to be listening for the first time. Maybe someone who's listening for the first time or who has never listened before, and I'm going to say Happy New Year to them. And in June, you see where I'm going with this? All right, so anyways, Happy New Year once again. Welcome to the show. I was going to say, I hope the start to the year has been a fantastic one. I hope the week's been a great one. I still hope so. But it's tough out there, you know? It's tough out there. Even getting to work is it's very difficult. Getting a taxi these days is unbelievable. It's unbelievably difficult, really. And I can't imagine what it's like, running your day-to-day business, powering your business, moving around. Even like it's difficult for a lot of persons, including myself. Even today, it's pretty tough with the price of petrol skyrocketing, and it appears that those who should know and who should fix the problem just seem to be saying a lot of words. That there's plenty of joining via the usual platforms. We're live on facebook.com/NigerianForPH, live on Twitter @NigerianForPH. Check us out on YouTube as well, Nigeria Info PH. You can watch live, listen live, join the conversation live, send me your comments, contribute to the conversation live. It is the first Friday edition of the show for the year 2023. And Friday edition is my favorite edition. Yes, it is. Still is, I suppose, even in this. The much awaited 2023 is finally here. Vote sensibly, vote the year of vote wisely. I hope I'm right with that. Vote wisely, all right? Vote wisely. Okay, so from now till 7, the conversation is on, and you're very welcome to join in. I mentioned the platforms a while ago. At the appropriate time, you can call the number as well. That's 0700 93 093. At zero family game yesterday at the Stamford Bridge, it was Chelsea taking on Manchester City, and Chelsea had the simplest of tasks. The simplest of tasks: beat Manchester City at home. It was the simplest of tasks. But no, could they do it? They couldn't. Because they can't. They never do well, that Chelsea team. And that manager, what's his name again? Is it Graham Potter? Looks like he's way out of his depths. Really, that's what it looks like. And well, needless to say, Chelsea lost at home. Not surprising. Was kind of like hoping for a miracle for them, But I don't know. They're so horrible these days. Looking so horrible these days. And well, they lost the game 0-1. City bagging 3 points on the night. Further shrinking the distance. The gap between City and Arsenal. It's now what? It's now 5 points. It's now 5 points. 5 points. But Arsenal still topping things as far as the EPL is concerned. All right. So good for Arsenal. And horrible. Where are they on the table right now? Their 10th position. Who would have thought that? I would think they were something like 17th or something like that. And that's where they're going next. That's where Chelsea's going next. They're going to 17th position. What do they need to do to get to 17th, by the way? 17th is West Ham on 15th right now. Chelsea is 25 points. Oh, okay. They need to drop 9 points. So something like dropping 9 points from the next 4 matches. That should get them to 17th position. Or something close to that. Anyways, moving on to some more important matters, leaving the mediocre Chelsea alone. How about a preview of what to expect on today's show? A preview of what we're discussing today. So I've got side comments coming up shortly, random stories, random thoughts caught my attention as I checked out those news items. And for the 1,000,000,007th time, we're not discussing my side comments now. I'll take your thoughts on them later on. During the open season segment. Now that segment is right after the 6 p.m. major news, and we'll review every matter discussed on the show. My side comments, today's rant, there's a rant coming up, yes, and any other matter discussed as well. Till about 7 when the show ends. Now after the side comments, I've got the rants coming up. I'll be taking your thoughts on my rant till 4 o'clock. We got business news at 4 p.m. and let's see what's up after that. What does it really take to use a River State school for election campaigns? What exactly does it take? Now, you will think the answer is very obvious, especially if you check out River State's Executive Order 21. It seems pretty clear what the criteria is. You have to send in an application, and that tell the River State Ministry of Education, right to I think the application is to the Commissioner for Education, explain what you want to use it for, and then you have to pay a 5 million naira caution fee, and then you get to use it. And reportedly, the PDP has been granted access already. They've been granted permission or license to use public schools in the state. Reportedly, they've paid, I think, over 90 million naira, and they've received approval already. But interestingly, on our news earlier on today, there's been some development as far as for a campaign. It must pay a non-refundable precautionary fee of 5 million naira and seek approval from the state government. Now, speaking on this, what is going on? Now, speaking on this, the River State Commissioner for Education says the payment does not guarantee approval for the use of such facilities as contained in Executive Order 21. Let's take a quick listen to what the Commissioner had to say on this. Just a moment. All right, here's what he said.
Payment does not guarantee my approval for the use of the. I'm not preventing anybody from using public facilities. Not those who are using it for the purpose and what purpose they are using it for, and also make them accountable. Would they have to take the responsibility that look, whatever goes wrong in the use of this, hold us responsible. That is what we want to achieve. If I'm satisfied, if the community ministry is satisfied, then we give approval.
All right, there you have it. So once again, what exactly, is the requirement? What conditions precisely do the parties have to meet? We'll discuss this in some detail. Now, up in the 4 o'clock hour, I'll be asking you then, what is your perception on the River State government restriction on use of schools for campaigns? We'll look at that. But I'll also be joined for the conversation by Professor Chinedu Mom, Commissioner for Education, River State. Is the NFRU overreaching? Some item from our news earlier today. The Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, the NFRU, has banned cash withdrawal from all federal, state and local government accounts. Now, NFRU DG Modibo Tukur spoke to journalists at the conference in Abuja yesterday. Now, Tukur said the ban will take effect on March 1 this year. He said the agency will launch against any public officials engaged in cash. I'll be asking you, the NFRU can go for that conversation on whether or not the NFRU, well, amongst other things, does the NFRU even have the legal backing or the powers or the authority to issue this ban, and how exactly will they go about implementing it? And some other related matters were discussed in the 5 o'clock hour after the update. Headline news is up at 5:30 p.m. The major news and the final bulletin for today comes up at 6 p.m. A review of all the stories and a recap is afterwards during the open season segment. So, with the comments, maybe if you come via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. The new year can continue to the end of the year. If we get our voting right, we'll obviously congratulate ourselves because it's going to be a new year in that month. Okay. All right. Be careful what you stand for the Premiership title after getting so close that season, which is not necessarily target. In fact, Chelsea might go to 17th. That's the point. A commercial break coming up in a moment. When I return, side comment and today's rant as well. Do please stay with us.
It's a new dawn for Nigeria.
Hello and welcome back. It is Hard Factor Nigeria in Food here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dial, and it's 26 minutes gone past 3 p.m. Let's get things flowing now with today's side comments, random stories, and random thoughts of mine on these random stories I came across earlier on today, which are not to be discussed now, by the way, not to be discussed now. Presidential candidates yesterday during the flag off of the campaign of their counterparts known later. Okay, just a moment. Let's take a listen to what the Benue State Governor, I think it was Samuel Otom, and his River State counterpart Yeson Wike had to say on this.
We are committed to PDP in a various state, and at the appropriate time, we are going to let you know.
Your Excellency, when is the appropriate time? Your Excellency, when exactly is the appropriate time? If this was a movie, yesterday was a major anticlimax. Yesterday was a major anticlimax. It probably would have been the worst movie I have ever seen in my life. I mean, so much was promised. We were sitting on the edge of our chairs with popcorn ready, soda cans and bottles were right there, eyes glued, waiting for the big reveal. And guess what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So when exactly? When is the right time, really? When exactly is the right time, Your Excellencies?
And what to do. We are united. We are together.
No, I cannot doubt that. I cannot doubt the United Party. Okay, united in not backing your party's presidential candidate, which I still find somewhat amazing, by the way. You know, the whole principle of party supremacy and loyalty and all of that. I guess when it suits you, when it suits politicians, you can throw party supremacy out the window. When it suits politicians, you can throw loyalty out the window. But when it suits you, you can spread the gospel of party supremacy and demand absolute loyalty as well. When it suits you, the laws change, depends on how Excellency feels. So once again, united you all may be, the G5 governors, on not backing Atiku, their party's presidential candidate, but I've got a feeling that on whom they will support, in the event that they do not go with Atiku, I'm not sure they're united in that regard.
Don't listen to gossip. We are committed to PDP and we are working for.
Committed to PDP. Oh, that's strange. That's very funny. That's very funny. So imagine my saying that I'm committed to Nigeria Info, and I say, listen to hard facts. Listen to hard facts. Make sure you listen to hard facts every day, but don't listen to media dialogue. No. Do not listen to the sports gang. No, don't listen to them. There's another station that has a very fine sports show. Listen to that one. Listen to I am committed to Nigeria Info. Listen to hard facts. What would you make of that?
All our candidates in our state. Vote for Sheyi, vote for the Senate, vote for the House of Reps, vote for the House of Assembly. The other one, Sheyi will talk to you. The other one, Sheyi will talk to you. The other one, Sheyi will talk to you.
Your Excellency, Mr. Governor, you sound a bit exasperated. The governor sounded like he wasn't so sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could sense maybe even a slight tinge of fear and concern. That maybe the G5 governors did not think this through very well. You know how it is at the start of something, you thought you have it all figured out, and along the line you start thinking, maybe we didn't think this thing through, or maybe we didn't get it right very well. Because there's a strong chance that this might backfire on the G5 governors. And here's what I mean. Because of the level of literacy we have in Nigeria, which is extremely low, by the way, which was also brought on by the terrible situation with the education system, brought on as well by excellencies and honorables throughout the country. That's a good premise to start on, I believe. A lot of Nigerians understand go. They don't get the concept of come, if you know what I mean. So how will a lot of voters comprehend the concept, especially the people that they always say that don't think for yourselves, just listen to what we say? Understand the concept of vote this party but vote the other party. It's going to be complex, and inevitably it's going to backfire somewhat. You just know it's going to backfire somewhat when you tell some persons, okay, for this one, especially also on the elections that are taking place on the same day. Remember, National Assembly elections and the presidential elections are taking place the same day. So you're going to tell these supporters, these loyal people, you're going to ask them to vote for the PDP, for the National Assembly elections. When it comes to presidential election, vote somebody else or vote something else. It might be a bit complex somewhat, for some persons to comprehend and deal with. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how that goes. All right, let's see what else caught my attention on the news today. Chairman of the governing board of the NDDC, Loretta Onoche, is dissatisfied with the impact of the agency in the region, describing it as shameful. Okay, just let me stop there just for a second. Madam Loretta Onoche, well, you're not the first person. I imagine that most Niger Deltans, if not most Nigerians or most human beings in the whole world who know about the NDDC, are dissatisfied with what the agency has done over the years and perceive the NDDC as being an extremely shameful agency. I mean, over the years, it's been shame, and then not the most recent or the more recent off the mic scenario and fainting episode was an extremely shameful situation as well. So we know that. It'd be nice if you tell us something we don't know. Now, Loretta Onoche went on. She spoke while addressing the management and staff of the commission at its headquarters in Port Harcourt yesterday. Might I also mention, Madam Loretta Onoche, that this shameful situation you describe happened under the government that you are serving under. Even though you have claimed that you are not a card-carrying member of the APC, you are at least a sympathizer or supporter of the APC. I mean, how else would you have gotten this position in the first place? So, this shameful development, a lot of this shameful development with the NDDC happened under the watchful eyes of the All Progressives Congress, because the NDDC is a federal agency, by the way. You get the point I'm trying to make, Madam Loretta Onoche. So if you say the NDDC has been shameful in its conduct over the years, then in other words, logically speaking, Madam Loretta Onoche, you might agree with me. In fact, you will agree with me that inevitably you are saying that the federal government or the APC-led federal government has been shameful as well, especially in its management of the NDDC or its management of development of the Niger Delta region, which is what the NDDC was set up to accomplish. So shame NDDC, and just going with your logic, Madam Loretta Onoche, I suppose you're also saying shame on the federal government also. Now, she also said money is meant for the NDDC and by extension, the development of the Niger Delta was squandered in Abuja, Lagos, Dubai, London, and other foreign countries, thereby impoverishing people of the region. Well, Madam Loretta Onoche, in the past, we have had people fainting. We have had off-the-mic scenarios. We have had, what else did we have? Oh, yeah, we had His Excellency Governor Wike saving a commando style, John Wick style, saving a precious daughter of River State. One wonders, Madam, what might happen when you eventually, inevitably, leave the NDDC. One wonders. One can't help but wonder. Time will tell. Time will definitely tell. So, I think that's it for today's side comment. And a quick comment here. Someone said this in. I don't mind G5 governors. All the meetings they had in the abroad is in vain. Watched the drama yesterday. That's from Undu. Like, seriously. I mean, we went to the UK. We went to London for meetings. We went to Paris. We toured the world for meetings. And everything was supposed to lead to a big reveal yesterday. And the whole world was disappointed after all the meetings we held. And by the way, are we going to hold a fresh round of meetings again? Are we going to London, Paris, and everywhere again to hold fresh meetings for the next announcement? Just wondering. So that's it for today's side comments. I go for a quick break. When I return, today's round comes up. Please stay with us.
Stay on track with Nigeria Info.
And PFN bestow.
Welcome to number one talk station. I'm Dio. 22 minutes to 4 p.m. I'd like to rant for a bit. Something in my mind, expressing some thoughts in it. And on this, I'll be taking your thoughts now to 4 p.m. Hopefully, I have enough time for that. So let's get straight to it. You know. I mean, I'm sure you know that we have a scarcity of petrol. You know that. You also know that even when you can get it to buy, it is outlandishly, astronomically expensive these days. Even right there at the filling station, let alone the black market. Well, guess what? The NNPC boss, or the NNPC Limited boss, is finally speaking on it. And is he offering Nigerians any hope? Let's check out the news. And this was on our bulletin this morning. Now, NNPC Group Managing Director Mele Kyari said there is no petrol scarcity at the depot. Now, when I read this, it got me going, that's deep. That's profound. That's profound. There is no petrol scarcity at the depots. That's very deep. And it got me thinking, that's a good thing, right? I mean, that is supposed to be a good thing. There is no petrol scarcity at the depot. Then it occurred to me that maybe, just maybe, allegedly, supposedly, just maybe, the NNPC boss may have forgotten that petrol is not consumed at the depots. Because of what use is there not being a scarcity at the depots and Nigerians cannot get the fuel to buy? So if you have all the petrol in the world, literally, walk with me here, follow me. If you have all the petrol in the world, all the PMS in the world, all the refined petrol in the world, if you have it at the depots in Nigeria, and Nigerians in Port Harcourt, for example, in Rivers State, for example, cannot access it, cannot get it to buy, and even when it is somewhat available, it is way above what they can pay for it. It's above even what the government itself, government agencies says Nigerians should pay for it. Of what use is this lack of scarcity at the depots? So in essence, the run today is to remind the NNPC, and especially the NNPC boss, that petrol is not consumed at the depots. So once again, even if we have the entire world supply of refined crude in the form of petrol at the depots, it is worthless if Nigerians cannot access it and if they cannot pay for it or afford it. Now back to the story. He said this while answering questions from journalists during a visit of Chief of Defence Staff General Lucky Rabon to the Army, Navy and Air Force in Port Harcourt yesterday. He said the current scarcity of petrol in some parts of the country is due to the price difference in some states, which has affected the distribution of the product.
I do not think that there's only one depot selling for. It is not true. We do not have supply problem. We have distribution challenge. Distribution challenge that is coming as a result of price differential. People take products from areas where prices are low to where prices are high, and then you'll see that spike in areas where prices are low. We are containing it. We know there are logistic issues, and we are working with the partners and the marketing companies so that a balancing can come, so that this normality will come. But we do not have supply problem. There are clearly distribution and arbitrage challenges.
What exactly is this distribution problem, Mr. GMD? Can we break it down so that the average Nigerian will understand what this distribution? Now, here's what I want to ask. Now, at the time that Nigerians were buying petrol for 165 naira a liter or 180 or thereabouts, and it was readily available, what was it about distribution? What did we have with the distribution chain at that time that we don't have in the distribution chain at this time? What is it? What component of the distribution chain has been disrupted? What is it in the distribution chain that has been removed that is causing this crisis in our hands right now? So we need to replace it and put it back there. What exactly is it? This distribution. Since we have supply, there's no problem with supply, of course. I mean, it reminds me of the NNPC's slogan, if you will. We have allegedly, of course, we have 27.7 gazillion billion liters. We have enough to last the next 27 and a half years. Nigerians should not do panic buying. So we have all of this supply. 52.5 billion liters is on the high seas already. That's not even counting the one we have at Apapa and Tinkan Island. That one is somewhere in the region of 117.7 billion liters. It's already there. In fact, if you go to the ports right now, petrol is just pouring everywhere there. Some people are using it to make eba because there's so much petrol they don't even know what to do with it again. People are turning gari with it. The other day I went on inspection. The other day and I saw people using petrol to make native soup. That's how abundant it is. The other day also there was one construction site. They run out of paint for the building. They just started using petrol to paint it. That's how much petrol we have now. It's in abundance. So since it's so much, supply is not the problem. We have too much supply, in fact. What is it with this distribution thing that was present before and is no longer present now? Now, the NNPC Group MD also spoke on the shutdown of 7 depots, and here's what he had to say on the shutdown of those depots or these depots.
First of all, let me thank our men of the Nigerian Armed Forces and other government security agencies for the great work they have done in curbing this menace of oil theft. We as business, we have seen the value. Our production is coming back very, very rapidly, and there are a number of arrests that are being made on daily basis. Assets are being seized from the thieves on daily basis, and this is working. And we believe that our men of the armed forces and other government security, including our private security contractors, will bring this to end and will terminate this before the end of the tenure of Mr. President.
Okay, I think that was when he was thanking the military for their effort and blah blah blah. So I think that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. So this should be the right one about the shutdown of 7 depots.
The downstream ministry have shut down 7 depots, as you may be aware. It is to bring control to the ex-depot price, and that will normalize the prices across the country.
Okay. So you have shut down 7 depots. So how exactly is the product going to be distributed then? Because obviously, I don't belong to Pangasan, I don't belong to New Pang, I'm not an oil and gas distribution specialist, but I do know from the little knowledge I've been able to scratch from here and there that these depots are integral to the supply chain. The petrol goes to the depots, the marketers go to the depots to get the petrol, and then they transfer them to filling stations, and then people go there to buy. So if we have shut down 7 depots, what is the plan to get the petrol to the filling stations? What exactly is the plan for that, Mr. NNPC GMD? Because once again, the idea that supply is not the problem does not excite anybody. It puts smiles on nobody's faces. Is the NNPC GMD aware of the sufferings of Nigerians, as to what people are going through every single day? Not being able to get petrol. Almost every filling station is shut down, and even when they're open, they're selling per liter about 400 naira now. Some even over 400 naira. Black market is about 700 naira and climbing. Does the NNPC GMD know how this is impacting Nigerians? Everyday Nigerians, the masses, the ordinary people. For example, the GPRS, the good people of River State. How it is shutting down businesses. Humongous waste of man hours. People are unable to move around. How it is even impoverishing Nigerians. I mean, the disposable income of Nigerians was extremely low before. Now imagine what the price of petrol is doing to them right now. Incredible. The suffering is unbelievable. And the answer to that is yes, we don't have supply problem. Let's see at the depot. There's no scarcity at the depot. Once again, what does that do for Nigerians? No scarcity at the depot. So it's amazing. First of the way area leaders, can we look at the translation of this distribution problem? Can we put a human face to it? The challenges Nigerians are dealing with on a daily basis. And yet, we say no scarcity at the depot. We don't have supply problem. There's a scarcity. There is a real scarcity. It's bad hard Nigerians. It's making us miserable. There is a supply problem. We may have people may be using petrol to turn Gary at Tinkan and at Papa Port. But we have a supply problem. You know why we have a supply problem, NNPC GMD? Because Nigerians are not getting it. There is a supply problem. When the end users, those who are making the demand, cannot access the product they're demanding, there is a supply problem. In economics, that is a supply. When demand cannot be met because the product that's being demanded cannot be supplied to the people who are demanding it, there is fundamentally a supply problem. That is the definition of supply problem. So we do have a supply problem. And I hope that Nigerian leadership, including the NNPC GMD, can start putting human faces to these problems, whether it is supply problem or distribution problem. Put a human face to it. On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. Hope you went board. Let's get your take on mine. Lines open. Number is 0700 923 0923. That's 0700 923 0923. You can also join. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Live on Twitter as well, at Nigeria Info PH. Keep it brief and straight to the point. And once the call is answered, do please remember to turn off your radio set. It's expedient to do so, else we can't have a conversation. Hello, Hard Factor. Welcome. Please go on.
Yeah, brother, good afternoon.
Go ahead. Hello. 0700 923 0923 is the number to call. Hello, Hard Factor. Welcome.
Yeah, Dio, good afternoon.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is Pastor Isaiah Joyce from Buku.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Now, Dio, you can see that the man, Mele Kyari, is trying to clear the air and also to see how he can service his masters at the top. But another thing is that we must know that there is a clear underhand saboteur that is ongoing now as I speak. Because the man, Mele Kyari, I don't think he can be at the depot at the same time also be in his own in office. So it is the information he gathered from the depots and from his men on the field, I think that is passing across to the public. So let us just see it as that. But it is obvious that
there is underhand saboteur currently, you understand, try to put Nigerians in panic and in dilemma in this new year. That is what I see.
All right, great to have for me. Once again, 0700 923 0923. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome. Please go on.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, go ahead.
Each time we tell our leaders or those who man critical public sector to go get educated, they feel that we are not being kind to them. In elementary economics, we are taught that production is incomplete except unless it gets to the final consumer. That's what we are taught in elementary economics, that production is incomplete until it gets to the final consumer. So whoever is telling you that there is a fuel that the depot and is not getting here has not read elementary economics. Thank you.
You're welcome. 9213, hello.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Dayo.
Hello, go on.
Yes, what is happening is, to my own understanding, this government has already failed. For allowing us to pass through this.
Turn off your radio set, please.
Come back?
Turn off your radio set.
Okay. 1 minute. Are you hearing me now?
Go ahead.
Yes. What I'm saying is that this government has failed the masses. They have failed the entire Nigerians for allowing this to happen at this time. That we cannot drive our cars, we can't have even the fuel for our generators, nothing, and then they are saying that there is no scarcity. I don't understand where we are going to. Please, let them see how to fix this problem. Thank you.
You're welcome as well. Via Facebook, Anna Barry's Road goes, good day, no scarcity, yet we're buying petrol at 500 naira, 600 naira, even 700 naira. Are they aware that Nigerians are impinged into this scarcity? I guess the GM and the petroleum minister are not aware of the suffering of the people. So pathetic. It is pathetic indeed. Because I don't know what scarcity means any longer. Or a lack of supply. Commercial break, I'll be back.
Nigeria Info will be right back.
All
our country people, they talk with one voice.
Will take my rounds from earlier on. Still got about 4 minutes to go before 4 o'clock. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome. Hello, go ahead.
This is Mr. Badia calling from.
Go ahead, please.
From the look of things, the government in power have failed Nigerians. Why I'm saying so is when from the inception of this administration, they promised that in 6 months, the refineries will be in place. Everything will be okay. Now, almost the end of the administration,